Hey, everybody, how are you? I'm Musa Jackson, and welcome to Ambassador Digital Magazine Live. Wow, here we are. Whew. Another week. I know it's so interesting. These weeks have been just. I know they're feeling like. Listen, this has been amazing, an amazing journey that we've been going on with you guys. We enjoy bringing Ambassador Digital Magazine live to you guys every week when we can. And, but I think for all of us, it feels like, how many years have gone by in the past few months? Am I the only one that feels like several years have gone by in the past few months? I mean, incredible. Yeah, it's we're all dealing with this situation that's happening. I think we're all trying to keep our patience, which we have to keep our patience with this insane transition. Like nothing in history has ever happened before, where we're dealing with just oh God, we're dealing with the brattiest, most asinine person ever. So we were, and I'm always don't even want to we brought a lot of attention to him and know he feeds off of that. So I want to kind of maybe even steer away from that and just see some of the things that are happening. I know with Biden and his administration are, to the best of their ability, trying to put together their own, the task force for, dealing with the coronavirus. Obviously, that'll be the number one priority when they move into the White House in 62 days. I believe he's got his chief of staff. Our Vice President Kamala Harris has her chief of staff, as well as now Jill Biden has her chief of staff. Which I believe is the first Dominican American woman. So, when we look at already what's shaping up in terms of their administration is looking a lot more like who we are, a lot more like America. We've got a woman, we've got a Black woman from immigrant parents as making history. Then we've got and she'll have the second husband. What is that called? Where the vice president's husband. So that's even new, right? So I'm trying to look at more of the bright side of that, because I feel or hope or pray that even though their hands are kind of tied behind their backs, that they will be able to take the ball and really just be responsible and show us leadership that we've been lacking. So, I think maybe we can take a collective side to a certain degree, and just knowing that that's on the horizon. We're also dealing right now, obviously, with the spike in cases. We still have to do our best to social distance, as well as keep the mask on. I've still seen people walking around, in certain close spaces sometimes without masks, which always bothers the hell out of me when I see that. Especially now as we go into the winter months and the flu season, and as well as COVID, those things naturally are going to have a second wave, which is what's happening. So I guess they closed down the public schools, amidst a lot of the parents' protests, because they're trying to, that might be the numbers aren't where they should be, I believe, for them to close down the schools. But I guess the mayor, which I'm not a fan of this mayor at all, has decided that they're going to close the schools down and have it remote learning until, I guess, once we come back into the next semester, which would be in January. So I'm, that's all we can do, is really just kind of figure this shit out, as most parents are. So my, as a parent myself of a 14-year-old with my ex-wife, fortunately for us, she was already homeschooled. So this for us has been a part, a part of her world. But nonetheless, it's still a challenge for any parent out there that doesn't have the means to, to figure out how they're going to, get somebody to take care of their child while they're at work. So, another thing. Wow. I just want to say we've been through, so much African Americans throughout this country, especially with the police brutality, the police murders. The list is just, it's so long. Unfortunately, I can't sit here without looking at a piece of paper and name to you all the senseless killings of African American men, women, and it doesn't end. It doesn't seem to end. And it's hard because we put so much into. It's so exhausting when we're out there marching and protesting for whether it be Ahmaud or whether it be Breonna or whether it be George Floyd, and then we've got to pile another one on top and start the protest. And it doesn't always get the national attention, especially now where our focus is on the transition of power with this election and this friggin' nut out there who's given license to these police officers to senselessly kill Black people, especially Black men out there. So to hear of these two, as a father, as a Black man, to hear of these two young men who were killed on Friday murdered at the hands of police officers in Cocoa, Florida. Angelo, I'm going to look at it, Angelo Crooms, 16 years old, and Sincere Pierce was 18 years old. They were in a car. They had driven out of their driveway. They had borrowed a car, gotten permission, and of course, driving wherever they're going, and they might have turned a corner and ran into police officers who basically chased them down, saying they were in a stolen car, even though it wasn't the right car. And then the police officers say that as they tried to yell out to them, that they tried to run them over. The police officers said that one of the police officers' report was that they tried to run him over. Whereas on the videotape, the young men were actually trying to veer to the left to get around him. Now, mind you, they're just in a car. They don't know what's happening. And then all of a sudden, they're like practically, like anybody would imagine as an adult how you would feel. But as a teenager, you go into panic mode. But even with that, still, they were trying to veer out of his way. But he steps into the line right in front of them and basically unloads his clip into this car, killing these two young men. Actually, even as it went past, he actually shot into the passenger seat and killed. So it was two that were killed in the car. And I believe the car kept moving and went onto someone's lawn, almost crashed into a house. This is all trying to keep people safe, right? So now these parents have to grapple with the fact that their children who were in a car that they had loaned them are now no longer here. And once again have now been added to the long list of senseless murders at the hands of police officers. And I believe as a lot of these police officers always have a long record. And I believe this one had one too. So in other words, he shouldn't have been a police officer. He was a deputy, I think he was a deputy sheriff. There'll be more coming out about this. And please, by all means, sorry, guys, hold on a second here. it's hard when you're sometimes trying to get all the information and just, you want people to be informed as to what's happening. So, we stand in support as always with all the families whose lives were cut short amongst now a coronavirus that has killed 250,000 Americans have died because of this coronavirus. That could have easily been, the numbers could have easily been a lot less, probably even, who knows, but a lot less than what they are now. And so with that said, I just want to, as always, stand in solidarity with our fellow Americans, with you out there who might be watching. We all have to realize we're in this together, okay? But I'm so excited to say that I have an amazing guest coming. And this is going to be great because she's a positive force. And sometimes you just need that positivity. You need that, and you're going to find out that goddess force to really kind of help lift our spirits. You know what I'm saying? I know what that's like when you just need that. So I'm going to talk about her. Our first guest is, she is a pioneering model, supermodel. She was the first African-American woman to hold a contract with Maybelline for 8 years. She was a spokesperson for that. She's done German Vogue, and she's done Elle and Marie Claire and countless magazines. She's modeled for Chanel in Paris. Before heading off to La La Land, where she's had roles in Head Over Heels, Monster-in-Law with Jennifer Lopez and Jane Fonda. But she also, along the way, started something called the Goddess Life, which is really about helping women just kind of develop their own inner power, as well as along the way, she's become a wife. As well a mother, and I just want to bring this beautiful woman on, TOMIKO Fraser Hines. She's all the way in LA. Let's give her a warm welcome. Hi, TOMIKO. Hey.
Hi. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. I'm over here like grinning from ear to ear. I did all of that. Oh my goodness.
You did all of that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. And what's funny is that, and you know what I'm talking about, TOMIKO, is that when you've modeled and you come from a certain area, it's like we all know each other, right?
Yes.
Supposedly, and we have not met. So anyone out there watching, and we have a lot of mutual friends.
Yes.
We're going to assume automatically, they've either worked together or and this is actually, the first time you really interfaced.
I believe so. We were trying to figure that out on our call before this. And believe it or not, I have worked with so many people back in the day, but we managed not to cross paths. But, it was meant to be now. It was meant to be right now in this time, in this space.
Yeah. And, we all watch each other. I've watched you. I have enjoyed you. I have been people that when I saw your face, it's a little bit of feedback, guys, so bear with us. But immediately when I saw you, I said, oh my God, this is one beautiful chocolate sister. Yes. Which I love I love seeing that. That just warms my heart and lifts me up. And because it's just regal to me. That's what you guys do, is regal, statuesque beauty goddess.
I'm just gonna let you keep talking.
I can do this. I honestly, there's a lot more adjectives I could throw out there, but honey, we all are feasting on you right now. And one of the good things about this, I love to hear how it all began. And so, like me, you're New York. Why don't you tell us about your journey, where you were born, where you're from, a little bit?
Sure. Yes, I am absolutely 100% positively, without a shadow of a doubt, a New Yorker. Born and raised in the Bronx. I've lived just about in every borough, but my formative years were in the Bronx. So I claim that to this day. Being in Los Angeles for almost 20 years now, I can't believe. Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
You found it.
You are ridiculous. I wasn't ready for this, y'all. I don't know what pictures they're popping up, so stay ready. But I always say, being in Los Angeles, they go, "Where are you from?" Well, I live in LA, but I'm from New York. So I'm a New Yorker. I don't know. I tell it like it is. I'm always hustling and grinding. I love what the city has to offer, just a way of culture and diversity. I will always claim New York as home. Always.
Yeah, and so I know you're like me. You grew up in a certain time. So what was it like for teenage Coco? What was she into? What kind of music? What was the flavor for teenage Tomiko?
Okay, teenage Tomiko, man. Well, I was I still am, but I was kind of an introverted extrovert, or extroverted introvert. And so I just happened to hang out with a good group of friends. There were probably, I don't know, 10, 12 of us total, guys and girls. And we just hung out with each other at each other's houses. I was into all of the stuff. I was into hip hop. I grew up listening because of my stepfather, who raised me, who was a DJ before DJs even became popular. He played all kinds of music. I love the Shy Lights and Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. But I also, Tribe Called Quest. And I mean, I wasn't as immersed in the hip hop culture. I think I was a little sheltered that way. So now I'm having this appreciation for it. But I definitely was into music, fashion. I was in talent shows. I dressed what I thought was, cool. But yeah, I was just a regular kind of nerdy-ish, cute teenage girl. Cute. Didn't know I was cute. People tell me now, they're like, Tomiko, you were so beautiful in high school. I'm like, y'all didn't tell me. I wasn't walking around like I was all kinds of beautiful, but hindsight.
Did they keep that from you, like walking down the hallways and here's this tall, beautiful chocolate skinny girl, right, with a smile and the, you know what I'm saying, and the skin. They didn't like you didn't know. I mean, like you didn't have
I
an idea.
honestly did. Okay, I was told more so by family than friends, especially guys and stuff like that, but I wasn't of that mindset. I'm a Taurus. I'm very practical. I was about get my work done, do my homework. I mean, I was not a goody goody by any means, but I wasn't like looking for that. I was my my self-esteem probably couldn't even handle it. Somebody said the Shy Lights. My
Yeah.
self-esteem couldn't handle it. So
Even
even if it was coming my way, I wasn't equipped yet as a teenager to receive it and know what to do with it.
right. I know it was such a different time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We were like really sheltered. When I think about, I mean, my daughter's pretty sheltered now,
Yeah.
but I mean, comparatively, but when I think about what just how much we didn't get involved in, that kids are so involved in now, I totally get, you know what I mean? And so was it like, so did you have like, okay, did you do like the summer jobs and things like that? Because I did that.
Summer job. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm practical. The day that I turned 16, I started working, and I haven't stopped working since. I was all about stability, having a paycheck, being able to buy the things that I wanted, being able to put a little money away from my savings. Not that I did much of that, but I've always been a hardworking, practical girl with a little bit of a crazy side. Anybody that knows me on this call, on this interview, will attest to that. I'm practical, but I'm crazy in a good way.
Nice. And so, okay. So who's in the picture?
I'm sorry.
Okay, you see the picture up?
Aw, I just posted that today. Did you know that,
Oh,
Musa?
well, we do grab it, but I wanted to know who's who. Who's
Okay, So that's my younger sister,
Okay.
Shaniqua, and I. Yes, Anna, you can attest. I see you. My friends are commenting.
Nice, nice.
That's my younger sister, Shaniqua. I'm
No.
trying to figure out the time frame, and I believe it was 1976, just based on how
Right.
old I look. I think that I was 8. So if you're trying to figure out my age, I'm 52, proud and
Right.
loud. And my sister was probably around 5, and
Mm.
that was one of my favorite shirts. I had that shirt in red as well, and I wore it all the time. So I'm in the green, and my sister Shanique was in the orange. And my sister, unfortunately, she
Mm.
passed away in 2009 from complications with lupus at the too young age of I believe she was 36 or just about to turn 37. But
Mhm.
as I put in my post today, which is hysterical that this picture is here,
Right.
we were so close. I mean, we just had our own little world and played outside and,
Mhm.
played with dolls. And yeah, I miss her. I miss her a lot.
Wow. Yeah, we talked a little bit. I got to know that we talked a little bit about that. So what was that like? Was she diagnosed really early with lupus, or do we, you know what I mean? Because a lot of us didn't even know what that was growing up. You know what I mean? We weren't like
Well,
aware as we are now. You
yeah.
know, what was that like?
Well, I can tell you from my
Mhm.
experience that it was a shock. We didn't know anything about it at all. Hindsight, now I know much more, and I know that autoimmune diseases, of which lupus is one, scleroderma, there's other ones that are prevalent in my family, but autoimmune issues are prevalent in my family.
Mhm.
And my sister, prior to being diagnosed, was living her life. She had a young child, she was
Mhm.
working, and then it started because she had lupus nephritis, which affected her brain. So she started to show some behaviors that were out of character for her. And when she was diagnosed, the downslide, if you will, happened really quickly. And she went from having a conversation like you and I are doing to becoming more of a like a child, and she needed to be cared for. Until her passing, and it just deteriorated, and she hung on for a lot longer than people thought that she would. But she was diagnosed in her mid-20s, so it was about 10 years that she dealt with this, and ultimately the complications, she succumbed to the complications from that. But yes, we do know a lot more about lupus. I, at the time, for many years, was a spokesperson for the Lupus Foundation of America. It
Mhm.
is predominant in African American women. There's currently no cure for it, as far as I know. I haven't done my latest research on it, but it's definitely something that is still an unknown disease. That if you know anybody with lupus or you want to find out more about it, please check out the Lupus Foundation of America. It's lfa.org, and you can find out ways to support people, find out more about it if you are challenged with it, and contribute and support their work, because they are working very hard to bring a cure about.
I just saw a good friend of ours, Casey Duke, said "Sister Love Forever."
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm
Absolutely.
with you on that.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Casey.
Casey, for that.
Yes.
I was going to say shout out to everyone. I see you, Rhoda. I see Stephen, Jerry, Courtney. We love saying hi to everyone. That's
I
fun.
want to say hi. Who's
Say
hi?
hi. I
What is
say
it?
hi to everybody.
I can't.
Um,
I can't. Oh, there's a lot of comments. Hi, everybody.
she says hi.
What's
So
this?
we're gonna okay, listen, let's go.
Yes. Let's go.
So we got this tall, 5'9" lady out there in the world. How did you get this? How did you get into the modeling industry?
Ooh, okay. How did I get into modeling? So
Yeah.
I am 5'9.5". I have been this height since I was 12 years old. I have been 5'9.5" since I was 11.
Wow.
And thank you for these pictures. And I just, people that always said she's tall, she's thin, she should model, but I use the term checking for it. I wasn't checking for it because, again, is there job security here?
Right.
Do we have benefits here? Like, what's the end goal? And I went down the route of working in corporate America, and then chose for myself, that I was going to give it a shot. If I'm going to do it, let me do it. So I went from my full-time job working from 9 to 5 to working as a hostess at a restaurant at night so that I could go on go-sees and castings and things during the day. And I was discovered while working at a restaurant called Lola in the Flatiron District in New York on 22nd and
I
6th.
love Lola.
I worked there for years. It was a great spot. And a woman who owned a small agency called Lure, Lure, she came in and she courted me. She was like, I think you could be a model and I'd love to help you do that. And so I signed with her for several months. But as I know about myself, I'm always aspiring for better for myself. And I knew that as lovely as she was only able to take me to a certain level because she wasn't as well known in the industry. So I went from her to Wilhelmina Models, and then that's where everything kind of took off, and ultimately ended up at Ford Models, and now I'm with Iconic Focus. And I've been modeling I've been modeling professionally since I was 25. So this is my 27th year professionally modeling, but I was kind of dibbling and dabbling. Is dibbling a word? Dibbling, dabbling since I was 18.
Got it. And so what was like what was that job that you recall that was like, okay, we all get those jobs.
Yes.
Well, mine was different, but you get that job, you go, I'm a model. This is like, what was that job for you?
You're going to laugh. You're going to laugh.
I'm not going to laugh. I might laugh.
Because I knew that I had arrived when I was in the Crazy Eddie Circular. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was in the Circular for Crazy Eddie's, which is like a Radio Shack, which is like an electronics store. I think I was holding a camera. I don't even know what it was. But my whole family in the Sunday Daily News got that circular and was passing it around because I was in the Crazy Eddie ad. But after that, as far as, getting into fashion, I knew that I shouldn't say arrived. I felt like I was really a professional model when I worked for 17 magazine. That was great. I was 25 years old working for 17 magazine, but that was my first big job. Wow.
And then listen, so you went from that to, we're talking about German Vogue and Elle and 09. I mean, in fact, you just started killing it. Did you just sort of what people don't know is that they think you're beautiful and that you walk into the agency and you're going to automatically be sort of like, there's all this work out there. But back in those days, which I know, it was far and few between women who were, beautiful brown skinned sisters. I started with Karen Alexander, which was also someone who was not, there weren't very many like her, none like her.
Yeah.
So it didn't change much by the time you got into business. So what was that like for you? How were you able to land these jobs, or at least get in the door? Sometimes that wasn't even open for you.
Tenacity, belief in myself, and always staying ready to work and believing that I have a right to be in the room just like everybody else. Yes, you are correct. Even though I have this great resume of work, and I'm very grateful for it, it pales in comparison to non-Black models that were doing the same level of work that I was doing, because the opportunity just wasn't there. Brands, magazines weren't as courageous as they are becoming today with featuring a Black model, putting a Black model on the cover, having, so while I was able to work, I didn't work nearly as much as I thought that I should be working at the time. And my agents always knew that I was ready to have a conversation when I called a meeting. I was one of the few models that would call a meeting with my bookers and say, well, I want to go see this client, and why can't I go see that client? And I think it's that tenacity and that belief in self and that staying prepared to work and perfecting my craft to my ability that keeps me working to this day. I don't believe that I can't do it as far as modeling is concerned. Why can't I sell this, or why can't I be featured in that ad? You have to be the one as the brand or the client to reshape the narrative. And, you know, if we keep thinking that Black women, Black models don't sell, that's what's going to be the norm. But if you step
Mhm.
up and go here, and this is what's happening now, thankfully. But it was tenacity, belief in self, good agents. Let me shout out my agents, because they really pushed for me and
Mhm.
got me in the room. And once I got in the room, then I had to do the work. And
Yeah.
thankfully, I was able to do that some of the time.
Yeah, no, and it's so true. You know, definitely having a strong agent. That's the key. They've got to love you. They've got to want to push you, as well as you obviously having your own back, which is what it
Yeah.
sounds like. Being your biggest, fiercest cheerleader would be
Yeah.
coming from yourself. So now we have a moment which, you know, comes along in most models' career, no, in very few models' careers, where you have, in your case, you'd be the first African American woman to do a Maybelline, a huge mainstream cosmetic brand, which doesn't, obviously, is for everyone. But what was that like for you, knowing that that's the bar,
Mm,
that's kind of, I want to say it's the ceiling, but it's really one of those glass ceiling moments.
yes.
What was that like for you? That's
Well,
beauty.
first of all, that's one of my favorite pictures. I love that. You couldn't tell me nothing with that picture right there. I to this day still beam with pride and joy and sense of accomplishment for having achieved that milestone. Yes, you are correct. You know the business. Getting a cosmetic campaign for a model is like winning an Oscar, winning the Super Bowl. A guy that I was dating at the time of getting the contract, said, it's like you won the Super Bowl. And I said, exactly. And, you know, in sports terms. And what a monumental moment
Mhm.
for me personally, for the beauty industry, to
Mhm.
put a brown skinned woman as not just somebody that's, you know, we feature her here or there, sign me to a multi-year contract that I got to wear my natural hair. I got to do the work that I'm doing with women and women's empowerment. I got to, you know, be an example to all these, to this day they still tell me, young girls and young women at the time that are now young, older women and older girls, that they just wanted to see somebody that looked like them, to validate that
Mhm.
their skin, their hair, the way they talk, their body shape is beautiful as well. So
Mhm.
while it was great on a career aspect, for me it was more about, we are beautiful, not we are beautiful too. We are beautiful. Here we are. And it's just something that I'm so proud of. So proud of.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. My
this,
natural hair.
I see. I love it. And like you said, I don't think people understand. Well, we understand, but that beyond just the job, the lasting impact on young Black girls, young brown beautiful girls, right? That they
Yes.
matter. That they matter. They
I
matter.
I
That
have
they're
I have
beautiful and they matter.
I have
You
several
know?
friends now, women that tell me, that are friends of mine, that I had pictures of you on the wall when I was a teenager, and here we are friends now. Or it's just, you know, you helped me to step up and believe in myself more. Like, those things are so humbling and so inspiring, and they touch my heart. And like I said, to this day, there's not a week that doesn't go by where somebody's not DMing me or commenting about what an impact my campaign for Maybelline had on them. So I'm truly grateful for that.
Amazing. So here we are now. You're this top model, Maybelline girl. Doors are open. How did you land over in La La Land? And was that a conscious decision to go to La La Land, or were you just how did that work? Tell us a little bit about that. Your journey there.
I am going to share this with you, Musa.
Uh-huh.
I'm realizing now at 52 and looking back on my life, that I kind of things, how can I put this? I saw it as like these opportunities come by and I'm ready, so I go. You know what I mean? Like I moved to Los Angeles after several years of my commercial and theatrical agent trying to get me out here because I wasn't ready to come out before then. But I had landed a movie. I was in Head Over Heels, and it was premiering, and I thought, oh, I'm just gonna move to LA for a couple months and ride the wave of this movie release and see what else I can get from there. And here I am 20 years later. I stayed, but it was I'm a lover of creativity. I really am a lover of expression, and while I am a model by trade, I love to write, I love to dance, I love to act, I love to sing. And I thought at the time, being a New Yorker, that you can't be all these things. You got to choose a job and you got to stick to it. But Los Angeles provided me with fertile ground to explore my creativity. And so I was able to do that with my acting career. And I think that's the reason why, because I was in a place that was welcoming of that.
Right. You worked also with Jennifer Lopez, the Bronx Girl. What was that like?
Yes. That was fun. I had a teeny tiny little there's no small roles.
There's no
I had
small
a
roles.
short timed role in Monster-in-Law, where I played a coffee shop barista that is getting cursed out by some unhappy customer, and Jennifer Lopez comes to my rescue, and we exchange a line. And while we were preparing to do that scene, I was like, girl, I'm from the Bronx too, and we got to talking about the Bronx, and she was very sweet, and we had a nice little moment. But that was a lot of fun. Anytime I get to express my creativity, I'm having a good time.
And you've been doing that. And one thing I love about what you've been doing is that you've been able to take some of the things that are really important to you, like your spirituality, your womanness, and tell us a little bit about how you created the beginning of it, the Goddess Life, because I think that's so important that we talk about that.
Well,
especially now, because you're a goddess. So let's hear it.
Well, here it comes, Musa. It's actually started out, and it's still an iteration of what I'm doing, but it's called the Goddess Gathering. It used to be called TOMIKO Fraser's Goddess Gathering. And it started right when I moved to Los Angeles. I had this game called Go Goddess, and it was basically candles and questions, and it encouraged women to drink and share. And I played this with a couple of my girlfriends right before moving to LA. And when I moved to LA, I didn't really know anybody. I had one best friend that was here. I had some of the women that I was in acting class with. And I just started to invite them over and say, come on, let's play this game, get to know each other. And it blossomed from there. I realized that I was stepping into something that was really, really a calling and a passion of mine. Thank you, Blakely. My girl's in there. Go ahead, Blakely. And I realized that it was definitely like it came because I had gone through so much in my life at that point. Losing love, losing family, relationships, body image, self-esteem, everything that we women go through. And I wanted to make a space for women to come and talk about that stuff in a safe space, in a non-judgmental space, where then I would be able to talk to each other and offer advice, let her know she's not alone. Give her wings, talk her up and give her wings to fly. And it blossomed, and it started officially in 2004 as an entity, the Goddess Gathering, and we're still going strong. I have so many goddess sisters, and I use the term goddess not in a religious way or in any kind of it's basically a woman that owns her life, who is self-defined, who is fully expressed, self-actualized, not stopped by adversity, that knows that through every challenge lies an opportunity for growth. I could go on. Look at these girls. Hi.
I love these girls. Me and Vanessa started together.
Yes.
Yeah, my first commercial I ever did was with Vanessa. Vanessa Williams. Yeah. I
Vanessa
love
has
her.
come to
And
Goddess Gathering.
Tracy and I, yeah, I met Tracy the first time actually Wilhelmina when I was there too at one point.
Yes.
I'm friends with her sister. I love I love this sisterhood that I see. And, you know, one of the things I, you know, love about you was that you embody that. You know, you embody that to me. Also, what really I love about you is how you put family, your family first. We all do. We all do, you know, for the most part. But I love how you know, since I've just gotten to know you, how you talk about Chris, your husband, and how you talk about your boys, your twins, you know, Caden and
Bryce.
Bryce, Caden and Bryce,
Yes.
and you know, and just, I love that. So, you know, how did you meet your husband? That way through your talk and stuff, you know, or how did you guys meet?
Okay. Well,
Yeah, people want to hear that.
Yes, no, I want to get to that. I just want to make sure
Okay.
that I wrap up with the goddess
Okay,
gathering.
right.
And
Okay.
I want women that are out there to please check us out. My friend,
Okay.
my cousin Blakely put the link up there, and we are up to so many great things, and we are definitely a woman's safe space. Thank you, Blakely. And you can learn more about us. We have a website, and it's I give so much gratitude to my goddess sisters. They continue to sustain me to this day. And if you are a woman who is unsure or just looking for a way through whatever you're going through, please check us out. I promise you we got your back. So I just wanted to end with that.
Nice.
Tomiko.com.
And we'll put it back up. Okay.
Thank you. So my husband, yes, I love my family. I am a huge advocate for family and family, if you use that word. It's just life is a gift. It is truly a present, and to be surrounded by so much love, and to be supported by, and to be seen and accepted just as I am and just as I'm becoming is what it's all about. And I am so fortunate to, no matter where I look around me, I'm surrounded by love. And I give it and I receive it. So Chris and I met very soon after I got here at a mutual friend's game night. And he was in a relationship at the time, and there were no, sparks going on. He was very gentlemanly, but what he was not was a sore. Was he was winning the game, and he was talking about it and making me mad. So there was a little, but fun, like game fun. I wasn't really mad. And then I found out a couple months later there was something there. I thought he was very handsome, and he had a great personality. And I found out that he was a Taurus like me, and we just got to talking. And then I found out a couple months later that he was single and very out of character for me. We had exchanged numbers earlier on. I called him up for lunch because I was in between auditions, and I was like, I'm going to do it. Oh my goodness, I'm terrified, but I'm going to do it. And he was available, and we had a 3-hour lunch, and we've been together ever since. And we've been together since 2001 and married since 2006. And he's everything. He's everything to me.
That's awesome.
And I love him.
That's
He's gonna walk now. Go. That's right. You talking about me, woman? I know. That's just
yeah. I got to experience him a little bit.
That's right.
He's cool. And and then of course you have your boy.
Yes.
You have your twin sons, and I love that. I love you as mom. Just elevates and emanates from you.
Yes.
I know that we're going to talk a little bit about that, and just in terms of the journey of that.
Yeah.
But for other women, just in terms of any issues that some women maybe had before with infertility and things like that. I know it's just it can be a road. It's a road. And so I just wanted to just say a little bit on that you have this beautiful family, and I love that. I love that you guys have been able to really just keep that as your focus.
Yeah.
You know, and
And Musa, you're being very kind, and I
I,
appreciate that. And I
so yeah, you
and
know,
I will speak a little bit about it. But thank you.
okay,
I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying.
I do know.
So yes. So we I dealt with infertility for about 6 years. I have what's known as premature ovarian failure, which is an autoimmune issue which runs in my family. And what it basically did was it caused me to go into early menopause at the age of 39. Right after we got married. We got married when I was 39. And we were
Mhm.
trying and trying and trying. And they say after about a year of trying with no success, you might want to go get checked. And that's exactly what I did. And that's when I got the diagnosis. So we tried for just about 6 years naturally, and it was a devastatingly hard journey emotionally, physically, mentally, monetarily. Um, it strengthened us as a couple. But when I tell you that I've never been so despondent in my life than I was during that time, and um, it was the aid of an anonymous egg donor that
Mhm.
caused us to be able to build our family. And I was able to carry the boys. While they do not have my genetics per se, I
Mhm.
built them.
Mhm.
And I'm whispering now because we haven't yet shared with the boys, but we will. They're only 7. And Musa was being very kind to work around that with me. But the reason why I want to share it is because it's such a um, people don't talk about it. There's so much shame and guilt around it for a lot of families, a lot of women. And it wasn't until I was maybe several months pregnant and one of my goddess sisters said, you know, Tomiko, you should share your journey. You should let it be known because there's so many women, especially women, Black women, that are not sharing this. And if you share it and like take the stigma away, and that's all you got to do is tell me. And I did that. I started working with Resolve, RESOLVE.org, and they are one of the premier infertility organizations. And it was because I was at one of my infertility treatments, I read one of their pamphlets, and it talked about egg donation in a way that like blew my mind. And like the clouds parted and I saw a way into my dreams of becoming a mother. And so I owe a huge gratitude to them. But and I know I'm going on, but this is such an important subject to me. So thank you for letting me speak about this, Musa. Um, there's no reason for shame. There's no reason for guilt. Not that you have to broadcast it on Facebook like I did, but to hold it as something that you did wrong or that you're lacking is doing yourself a disservice. And if you truly, truly desire to become a mother or to have a family, I called it altered dreams. You can still have your dreams come true. They may just look differently than the way you thought they would. Look at my babies.
Look at those beautiful, beautiful boys. And if I can, and we're gonna move from here, but I just want to say one thing, Tomiko, that there are many kinds of families out there.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, there is not one direct route to a family.
No.
And some families you choose. Okay, I chose it. I have friends and family that are mine.
Yeah.
I have a family, and then I have my family.
Yeah.
Okay, and they mean as much to me as anybody that shares my DNA, if not more, and not more in certain cases. You just said we're here, so there's none of that. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, amazing mom. Look at you, beautiful. And now we're at that time, honey. I want to celebrate this moment.
What we celebrating?
Okay. This is a beautiful moment in the show where we do our cover reveal.
I needed to have
we're gonna bring out a couple of amazing. Grab your water, grab your drink, drink up, and we're gonna bring out our LA team that made it possible. I can't wait to introduce you to them. We got a few more minutes, but I want to. Paul, are we ready for the cover reveal?
Oh my gosh! Drum roll! I'm so excited.
Ambassador Digital Magazine. Ba, 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 ba. Here we
I
and
haven't seen this yet.
go.
Yay!
That's
We're on, guys.
Oh,
Woo! Look at that.
Look at that.
Thanks for La La Land. Woo!
Posted our cover, guys.
Stunning.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
First of all, these gentlemen sitting right here.
So let me go through it then,
Go
okay?
ahead.
All right. Well, you guys, please, the photographer. I guess to my, it would be
Cheers.
yes. Yes.
It's
Okay. And then we got
beautiful, guys.
director Mark Littlejohn.
Yay. Then we got Jamar.
Wait, what?
This is Jamar.
Yeah, we got Jamar.
Yeah.
Yay!
I'm smiling
Listen,
so hard.
I just gotta say, I love these guys. You know, the creativity. Gave them a couple of little thoughts and said, "Have fun." And you know, and I'm just they stunned me. So I just talk about it. You guys talk. I'm just gonna say.
Well, okay. Well, we started off with wanting to go to the beach, and then it became a Hollywood theme, you know, glamour. And as it started presenting itself with fashion and everything, it became more of a La La Land. Like everybody tried to come to La La Land, you know what I'm saying? They pack up with their one suitcase, come out here, and want to be actors and stuff like that. Since we're your first team on the West Side, on the West Coast, should I say? We really wanted to show that Hollywood feel and, you know, and glamour and stuff like that, as well as these beautiful outfits that Mark came up with. Come on.
Thank you. And I mean, really, that's what it was about. It was really about bringing out the classic beauty that she is. And of course, you know, utilizing the space that we're in. And, you know, just trying to show our classic Hollywood style. So here we are in La La Land. And of course, she's the perfect chanteuse or muse or whatever you want to call her. She just brought it to life. I mean, she was already getting into the spirit when she was getting her makeup done. We were listening to house music and she was like giving us, you know, a little bit of what she had. So we were like, oh, okay. I think she might, you know, she might have this. And then we put her out in the you know, the palm trees on the street, and it was magical. I mean, she came alive, and everything just fell into place. I mean, I couldn't have dreamt of more of a perfect suit with a more beautiful spirit model. She was
the minute she walked in with her mask on, you could see her smile through that. She really had a feeling and a presence about her that really made all of us as a team feel so comfortable. I'm telling you, she had to go pee for like hours, and she rode right through that whole thing.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, no, let's just get it done.
You know, I love that you guys, I love the theme behind it. Because you had, it's La La Land with the fairy tale and how she reimagined sort of iconic images and characters that we all grew up with. But you have bodied by like the most beautiful Black woman ever. Okay? So I love that. Yes.
And I already felt like I had a connection with her. For one, I worked with her husband about 20 years ago. So like I already know that she's a beautiful spirit just from being with Chris. He's such an amazing guy. And then I watched the video that she presented for Don't Talk About the Baby. So, of course, I learned about your experience with infertility. So that's when I knew that I was just, you know, I couldn't wait to be in her presence, ultimately. And as you can see, why? I mean, look at this amazing shot that we got. I mean, 52, can you imagine? Come on.
I do also want to say, the way the day was going, the light kept changing, and he was really on it, making sure we were able to capture all this beautiful lighting through from natural light and also getting the flash and all that type of stuff. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he really did his job.
Yeah, and to emphasize that point, of course, in LA, as you know, it's like 20, almost 300 days of the year. But we scheduled this shoot, and guess what happened? So one day of the year, it was an incredible storm. So
Yes.
somehow we got through it and came out with this amazing experience and this phenomenal time.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
Oh
Go for it. Okay.
Chime in.
Okay, listen. My face is about to crack. I'm smiling so hard. Okay. Wow, I'm literally blown away, and it's really tiny on my phone, but I can see that it looks amazing, and I am so grateful. I said it to them the day of. That team went above and beyond. And my cousin was there. I want to shout Blakely out because we hired her for the day. She don't know that.
Hey.
Blakely. And we just worked it. Whatever circumstance came up, whatever roadblock tried to get in our way, we were in the middle of a parade. I mean, it started raining. People were harassing us on Hollywood Boulevard, asking me my name. It was crazy, but it was so much energy and so much fun.
But it was great energy.
It was amazing energy.
Yes, and then we saw a double rainbow on top of that.
We
sure did. Oh my God.
Yes, so it was a beautiful experience, and I loved how everything turned out, and the theme, just makes so much sense, and I'm just so happy. I can't wait to see it. I want to see it like I want it in my hand. It's a digital.
And I just want to give my wonderful friend Tiara a shout out. We pulled some of the fabulous gowns from PR Solo Showroom in downtown Los Angeles, and she was so happy to work with us, and she loved all of your images and just thinks you're fabulous. So I just wanted to tell you that.
Yes, the entire team. I mean, makeup, hair, styling, people that it was. I can't. First of all, it was an all-black crew. Let's say that, first of all. Let's put that out. All-black crew, and we did that damn thing. And I'm just so proud, and I'm so honored. And thank you for choosing me to be on the cover, for representing the way that we did, and just the magic that we were able to create, that it ended up with a double rainbow. Of course it did. Of course it did.
Of course it did.
Yes.
I can say, and we're right there at the end. Thank you guys so much. This is for us, for you guys, Reese, and Mark. This is not the end.
Thank you.
And just to start off LA, Tomiko, we couldn't have picked a better person than you. You are like beyond stunning. Like you really are, the person there is really a goddess come to life. And it's like
goddess.
You're absolutely lovely. In and out, beautiful person all around. And these pictures are the new fairy tale. Like they're ours. And I love that it's a black crew. Yes to that. For a very long time. And all of my white friends are like, yes, honey. So because they get it. And I thank you guys so much. Me, Paul, our New York crew over here. We thank you guys for being a part of Ambassador Digital Magazine. And we love it. So we'll be showing these images. The story will come out probably Saturday, the weekend, to get the whole editorial with it. And I just can't say thank you guys enough. And you're also cute. Aren't they cute? There they go.
I'm married, but yes, they are very cute.
You're blind here.
But Musa, may I say one quick thing before we leave?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I wanted to say to everybody that's listening, I know that we are in the midst of a very tough time and we're being challenged, but it's a transformative time. It's time for you to know what you're about, who you are, to persevere figure, to surround yourself with people that love you and see you and support you, to no longer settle, to make it the way you choose it to be. Watch your words, watch your thoughts, watch your actions, and make sure they align with what it is that you want to see in your life. And I promise you, I speak from experience, that if you stand rooted in the truth of who you are and what you desire for your life, it will come to you. Magnetize it to you, believe it is yours, and it will be so. And I'm sending so much love and gratitude to everybody, especially to Ambassador Magazine, Musa, this great crew, and my family and my friends. Thank you so much. And please stay safe and wear your mask. God damn it.
Very important.
Yes.
That was amazing.
All been tested.
I cannot say anymore. You just gave a blessing to us all. And I just want to say one thing. We are headed into the Thanksgiving weekend. It's Thanksgiving next week. So be safe.
Yes.
Be safe around your family. Take your COVID test. If you're going to be around each other, it's really important. Or stay home or whatever we can do to protect ourselves. I just wanted to add that on. We will not be back. Obviously, next week is Thanksgiving. We'll be back the following week, December 3rd after that. But between now and then, we love you. Take care of yourselves. And thank you guys so much. Everyone that joined us for joining in on Ambassador Digital Magazine. Thank you so much, Tomiko, and my LA team. I love you guys.
Thank you, Musa. You're amazing too, Musa.
Everybody that's my friends,
yeah.
I love you.
Bye, Tomiko.
Thank you, Blakely. Thank you, Anna.
You gotta start with Tomiko.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Love you all.
Love you guys.
Love you.